Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Our Moments with God, our moments with the Word of God, our moments with the mercy, love, and compassion of God, our moments also very specially in this particular church where we often come to spend special time of prayer with the Lord, but though prayer can always be said in private, at home, etc., but church is a place where we meet together. But I will come to in a minute why I am doing this recording here in this large church. I am actually in a different city in Austria, substituting a priest who has gone for his home leave, so I am taking care of this parish right now, saying Mass, etc. And I invite you also to spend time, moments with God and with His love, and share the videos with others. Thank you very much. Yes. You heard the gospel reflection yesterday that Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem, and as he was speaking about what is going to happen to him there in Jerusalem, James and John, the two sons of Zebedee, they had hardly heard the pain with which Jesus had described that he would be handed over by high priests and others to the pagans, and then they will torture him, and finally they will make all kinds of fun against him, spit upon him, and finally he will be put to death. That was yesterday, and Jesus must have been disappointed with the questions of James and Zebedee, that after saying this, they were still asking, who, when you are in your glory, tell us that one will be on your left and one will be on your right, etc. And today, while he is already in Jerusalem, he goes into a temple, and he probably enters the temple through a big door like this. So this is certainly those days it was synagogue. So you can see that this place is a church. This was started by the SVD fathers more than 100 years ago. So this church is more than 100 years old. But naturally, when Jesus entered, he entered a synagogue, a temple, as the gospel says. So whether it is a temple or a church, those days there was no churches but synagogues. So he probably entered a synagogue, and there he found that people, instead of praying, here of course the church is empty, otherwise I cannot make my video. If people are present here, naturally that is understood. But when people enter a church like here, or a temple, they find a place to pray, to be spending moments with God. It could be our moments with God, your moments with God, their moments with God, but we want to spend our moments with God in quiet meditation, or maybe even intercession. Not maybe, most people come to church or temple to seek something from the Lord. This is, of course, a big church, and people come here also to pray. But what Jesus finds there as he enters into the temple, that there were people who were selling and buying. Of course, these are strong benches, so they were not selling on benches like this. They had their own tables and chairs where they were doing ordinary business, selling pigeons for offerings or goats for offerings, money changers, because people used to come from all over there to Jerusalem. That was the important temple there, and they needed to exchange their money. These days we talk about exchange of dollars and rupees, etc., but those days also they had to exchange to buy pigeons or to give to the priest there, etc. And Jesus gets so annoyed, so furious actually, that he starts throwing their tables and money changers and chases them out. And you would be surprised, this man, Jesus Christ, who has no army, no support, no thing, these people who are rich people, who are doing business, he takes on all of them. He doesn't bother that just two of them, if they got together and caught hold of him, and they could throw him out of the temple of what he was doing, and they could come and catch his collar and say, what the hell are you doing here? Is none of your business to what we are doing here? But they dared not do that to him. This is a very interesting fact, that these people who had not yet seen him, who had not yet heard him, these business people who were doing their trade little or big, they could have got together and threw him out. But they dare not, because what Jesus was doing was the right thing. He told them, "This is my Father's house, which is supposed to be a house of prayer, and you have made it a den of thieves, selling and buying, including cheating, naturally, cheating in the house of God." And this is one of the examples that people often cite, that Jesus was very human, he got angry. Yes, he was really angry. Yes, to get angry for the right cause, especially he was the son and his father's house was being not only neglected but being exploited, being wrongly used, misused, abused, and therefore he lost his temper. Yes, in the end of the gospel today, of course, he then goes on to tell his disciples, Peter, etc., that if you have faith like that of a mustard seed, you can tell a tree or a mountain to move and be thrown into the sea, and that will be done. So our instruction from Jesus to us is, have strong faith and do not misuse the places of worship or places of prayer, and do not also misuse God's generosity, God's love, which sometimes we do. And my dear friends, if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.